Good morning, everyone. So, dear students, previous class we learnt about the different types of soils. The different types of soils. Now, let us discuss about soil erosion and soil conservation. Erosion and conservation. What is the meaning of erosion and what is the meaning of conservation? See, erosion means that is about what we call the depletion. ಅಥವಾ ಭೂ ಸವಕಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಸವಕಳಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್, ಹೌ ಟು ಕನ್ಸರ್ವ್, ಹೌ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸಿ, ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಎರೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್. And soil conservations. See, the denudation of the soil, cover and subsequent washing down is described as soil erosion. This is what the definition, a simple definition for the soil erosions. That means the denudation of the soil, soil cover, and subsequent washing down is described as soil erosion. See, the process of soil formation and erosion. So that is go on simultaneously. And generally there is a balance between these two. The formation and as well as the erosion. So these two processes are going simultaneously and generally. That means ಒಂದೇ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಈ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಎರೋಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಏಕಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಒಂದೇ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. And there is the balance between the two also. Sometimes this balance is disturbed due to human activities. It's actually simultaneously what happened now, the formation of the soil and the erosion of the soil. It's go. So there is the balance of these two between the erosion and then what we call the formation. But so this the formation and then erosion. So this balance sometimes it's disturbed by human beings through their activities. For example, deforestation, overgrazing, and constructions and mining and etc. etc. So please keep it in your mind. So the first thing that I would like to clear, that is about the soil erosion. That means the denudation of soil are getting down. The denudation of the soil, soil cover and subsequent washing. Soil cover and subsequent washing down. It is described as soil erosion. See, the denudation of the soil cover and subsequent washing down is described as soil erosion. See, the process of soil formation and erosion. Simultaneously and generally go with the balance. See, it's go on simultaneously and generally. So there is the balance between these two, formation and erosion. But dear students, so due to human activities such as maybe deforestation, overgrazing, mining, mining, and can you guess? And even the construction activities, so on so forth. There is a lot. See, due to disturbed by the human activities such as deforestation, overgrazing, mining, quarrying, constructing activities, etc., etc. There are lot. So what happening now? See, while natural force like even this actually the soil erosion is because of this. These are all actually the human activities for erosion. And what about the natural? There are some natural activities also. For example, the we all of knows that. So the natural forces like wind, glacier, water, even this also leads to soil erosion. Wind, glaciers, and water. The forces of wind, glacier, and water. Etc. See, these are the natural activities by nature. See, this also leads to soil erosion. And the running water cuts through the clay soils and makes deep channels as gullies. So please keep in your mind how the gullies are going to be created now. So the running water, while flowing the running water, so that cuts through the clayey soils and make deep channels, and afterwards these deep canals as gullies. See, the land becomes unfit for cultivation. If suppose due to this all things, if the land become unfit for cultivation, and that we known as bad land, because that is unfit for cultivation. For example, the Chambal basin, Chambal ಕಣಿವೆ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. So such lands are called as ravines. We cannot do any activities. ಬಹುಶಃ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಚಂಬಲ್ ಕಣಿವೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. So in the Chambal basin, such lands are called ravines. And sometimes water flows as a sheet over large areas down a slope. And in such cases, the top soil is washed away. And this is known as sheet erosion. So please keep in your mind the one thing that the creation of gullies. So how it's now? The running water cuts through the clayey soils and makes a deep channels as gullies. And after the land become unfit for cultivation, and those lands, which are the lands are unfit for cultivation, those lands we used to call as the bad land. Understood now? And sometimes the water flows as a sheet over the large areas down a slope. In such cases, the top soil is washed away, and this is known as sheet erosion. This is known as sheet erosion. See, wind blows loose soil off flat or sloping land known as wind erosion. This is also the wind erosion. So what happened now? Wind blows loose soil off flat or sloping land known as wind erosion. See, This soil erosion is also caused due to defective methods of farming. We are following the different kinds of the activities in the agricultural field, the methods of farming. The flowing in a wrong way, that is up and down, the slow form canals for the quick flow of water leading even the soil erosions also. So like this, dear students, the soil erosions we can see from this all the different ways. From the nature also, I mean natural activities and even the so human activities also through human forces and activities also. See, flowing along the counter lines can deaccelerate the flow of water down the slopes, and this is called as a counter flow. Maybe you all of you studied in 8th standard. And steps can be cut out the slopes making terraces. This is all about the conservation of the soils. The first thing that the flowing along counter lines can decelerate of the flow of water down the slopes, and this is called as the counter flowing. And steps can cut out on the slopes making the terraces, and terrace cultivations restricts erosions. And western and central Himalayas have well developed terrace cultivation or farming. See, large fields can be divided into stripes, and stripes of grass are left to ground between the crops, and this breaks up the forces of the wind also, and this method is known as the stripe crop. So there is a counter flowing, and there is the what we call terrace farming, and there is the another one that is called stripe crop. See, planting lines of trees to create shelter also works in a similar way, and rows of such trees are called as a shelter beds. And these shelter belts have contributed significantly to the stabilization of sand dunes and in stabilizing the desert in western India also. So these are the some of the measures to control over the conservation of soils. So how can we know? There are the different ways to control the soil conservation. I mean to conserve the soil. The first thing that is about counter flowing, and the second one that is about terrace farming, counter flowing and terrace farming, and after that so stripe cropping, and the another one that is about shelter belts. See, these are the some of the measures for soil conservation. How can we conserve the soil now? So through counter flowing, through terrace farming, through stripe cropping, and through shelter belts, so we can conserve the soil, and it is essential also, because if there is no soil, so we cannot especially conduct the agricultural or farming activities. If there is a bad land, we cannot grow anything also. If there is a bad land, which is, the land which is not suitable for cultivation or to conduct any agricultural activities, so that is really needs to be avoided. So in this way, So we must control the soil erosion and then we can conserve the soil. I hope you all of you understood all these things. So please keep it in your mind. So last class we have studied types of soils and the formation of the different soils and the develop of the those soils and even the in which regions those soils are we can see and those soils are suitable for what type of crops and so on so things, especially alluvial soil, red and yellow soil, arid soil, laterite soil, black soil, like this. And also in this class we learnt about the soil erosions and then soil conservations. So the soil erosion it is essential, the soil conservation is essential to conduct the agricultural activities. So erosion here actually happening due to different reasons, especially due to the human activities such as deforestation, mining, quarrying, and even the what we call overgrazing and the different activities. And even so, the natural forces like wind, water, and even the glaciers also lead the soil erosion. Are you getting now? So these are the different way, and even we know that so the running water creates the gullies also, and the land which are not suitable for cultivation and those lands used to called as the bad land, for example the Chambal basin. And water flow as a sheet over a large areas down a slope. In such cases the top soil is washed away and that is known as sheet erosion. And wind blows loose soil off sloping land known as wind erosion. And soil erosion is also caused due to defective methods of farming, due to defective methods of farming, flowing in a wrong way, that is up and down, and the slow form canals for the quick flow of water also leading the soil erosions. And regarding the conservation of soil, so these are the different methods. So through counter flowing, through terrace farming, and then through stripe cropping, and then through constructing these shelter beds, so we can conserve the soil and it's essential also. So my dear students, I hope you all of you understood this topic, and this chapter is over, and the next class we are going to learn a new chapter. So if you have any doubts regarding this chapter, resources and development, so please you can ask and then clear your doubts. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.